Hello everyone, Zane here with Logic Over Emotion. This is a new channel and today I will be doing an introductory video and will kind of give you a background about me, about what inspired me to make this channel and what we really plan to do here. So forgive me for looking down. I have a list because I'm kind of new at this. It doesn't flow so naturally yet like a lot of the other YouTubers you probably see out there, but that's okay. We'll get better. So, what is this channel about? Okay, so this channel is about the idea of logic and emotion and the roles that it plays in society, finance, just our lives in general. Um, so there's obviously going to be a big focus on politics, big focus on finance, and probably be the core aspects of this channel. So why am I actually making this channel? I'm making this channel because I feel like I have acquired certain knowledge and I feel like it's a responsibility to share that knowledge because throughout my studies and what I've noticed, the biggest disparity in people comes from the lack of knowledge. Um, it's gender, race, all this other stuff that we try to act like are the reasons for disparities is not the case. It's purely knowledge. And if you look at who succeeds, who's at the top, um, that's the one thing that they have over other people. They have knowledge, or they have the capital to be able to acquire the knowledge, and that makes a really big difference in your possibility of success. So that, in a nutshell, is why I'm making this channel. So who am I? So I go by Zane. Um, I have a background in IT. I focus specifically in um, security right now. Um, and so my job itself is very logic based. As an engineer, I never only look at one end of the spectrum. It's my job to look at everything and to determine and to find a good place between convenience and security, right? Because you can't have a ton of convenience and a ton of security. It just doesn't work that way. Which is obviously the reference to freedom and security, basically. Um, so the way I tend to look at things, there's always two sides to it, right? So like referencing the pandemic right now, everybody tends to look at, oh, how many lives can we save? How many lives can we save? How many lives can we save? Now that's good, but the problem is there's another side to that coin, because your solution also have negatives, right? So if your solution produces um, side effects that are worse than the problem itself, that needs to be assessed, right? And I think that's what's being missed right now. We need to inject the logic, because if you only think with one side, you actually could end up causing more deaths through poverty, suicide, and other various things that do affect us. This isn't just about physically stopping people from contracting a virus. You have to look at how people can be hurt through other means, uh, as far as a solution being provided. So that kind of veers me into what I really wanted this first video to be about, outside of the introduction, outside of the um, what's this channel about, why am I making it, and so I wanted to quickly talk about the current state of politics, right? I spend a fair amount of time on YouTube, some of the mainstream media. It's really hard for me to watch, specifically CNN. Um, I honestly don't know how they exist as a news network at this point. I just I don't understand it. But anyway, the current state of politics that I'm seeing is, obviously you have the social justice warriors, right? Um, and they're so they're so bent on this idea of being nice to everyone, uh, equality of outcome for everyone, that they push policy that in actuality hurt the people that they're trying to help. And it's all because they lack basic logic when assessing a problem. And so the problem with the current state of politics is you have a group of people who dislike a president, um, and their main agenda, right? Their main agenda is to see that president not reelected. Now, the problem with this is they're willing to go to any means necessary to prevent uh, Donald Trump from being reelected. But they ignore everything, right? So their solution to that is to basically smear him, lie, extremely biased coverage. I mean, you have Joe Biden out here with all this stuff going on, and then you have people in you know press conferences asking extremely stupid questions. Like I don't understand. Like as a engineer, if someone brings me a problem and they say we need to solve this, literally the last thing I'm gonna honestly ask is, does this make you feel good? That's not my job. My job is to make sure the company is safe from a security standpoint and doesn't lose money based on audit findings and stuff like that. Um, so I have to take that into effect. Now I have to take into effect how they feel, but it cannot be the the main criteria for how I shape a solution, right? And that's what's happening on the left. They're so lost in the idea that we have to get Donald Trump out of here. We have to get Donald Trump out of here. That they do not care that they are, you know, breaking themselves up into multiple groups within the Democratic Party, which which means it's going to be harder to beat him that way. And because they're so lost in thinking with emotion, they don't use the logic to say, does this actually make sense? What are the outcomes going to be? And one of the parts of logic is having the common sense to review history and see what worked, what didn't work, right? Like that's a big part of how we shape security standards and policies, right? And so 2016, right? You lost an election that you were so sure you were going to win, and then for the next 3 years or so, you just harp on the president, harp on the president, harp on the president, um, give him bad coverage, bad coverage, bad coverage, um, and everything is bipartisan. Uh, and then when it's time for the campaign to come back around, the presidential election to come back around, you literally do the exact same thing. This is the thing that the left have to understand. You're not winning over anybody new with how you are going about this. You're simply keeping the same blind people happy, right? But people who think for themselves, who fact check, who go out to find a full clips of stuff that you edit, you're not winning those people. And what you're actually doing is you're causing people like me to go out of their way to say, hey, don't be part of that foolishness. And so I think we really have to understand that the state of politics is in a very bad place. Um, the comforting part about this is you see, especially with the pandemic going on, you see more people coming out protesting. They don't need daddy government telling them what risk they can take, yada yada yada. Right? We're all adults, and I agree with that. We're all adults. If you want to stay at home, stay at home. Let the rest of the people go on with their lives and make their money, feed their families. But we won't get too specifically. We won't get too specific into the pandemic at this point. We may do something more related to that in a different video. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you an idea of who I was, what this channel will be about. Hopefully, things will get better. Excuse me. I have a relocation coming here in a few weeks where I'm going to be moving across the country, gonna have a much better spot, more space, and so hopefully I can do daily videos as stories come out or things like that. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's create some open dialogue on what's going on out there, and even if we can only change the mind of a few, um, I think we would have accomplished something. And so the more of us that do this, the better chance that we have. Because what people have to understand is that um, a lot of the negative policy and things that the Democrats want to put in place can actually hurt you, right? And so we need to be thinking about that. I plan on investing and everything like that, and their idea around business ownership. They really hate anyone that has their own ideas and wants to do their own thing, and their policy will definitely hurt that. So if that's somewhere that you're looking to be at some point in time in your life, you really should get involved and speak out and be part of these dialogue, because um, overall it helps the situation. But anyway, it's time for me to get to work. I tried to make this video quick this morning. So thank you for watching, and be on the lookout for new videos coming soon. All right, guys, this is Zane signing out. Take care.